So, because the African people don't have a center of gravity anywhere in the world, you don't have a strong black nation. You've got a strong white nation, the United States. You have got the second strong white nation, Russia. You have got Germany. These are strong nations of whites. But you don't have a center of gravity of black people. They are smaller countries, Burundi, Rwanda. So, the NRM, which you belong to, from the beginning, saw this problem. From the 1960s. That's why we left those old parties, DP, UPC, because they were just talking about issues, not addressing this issue of the survival of the black race. This is what you are dealing with. You are not dealing with the how will the black race survive and prosper? Because people can disappear. When you go to America now, the people they call Americans are not Americans. Those are Europeans who went and took the land of the real Americans. The original Americans are now only 800,000, and they are in reservations. They disappeared. Yeah. In Africa, it was about to be like that. You know, like Kenya. When I was in the primary school in the 1950s, we were studying about the white highland of Kenya. Kenya had been taken over by whites. But global things happened, global events in the world happened. South Africa, of course, Zimbabwe, Rhodesia. So you people who are in leadership, don't look at this leadership as a career, as a job. No, I'm not. I never joined leadership as a job. I joined the leadership as a struggle to make the black people survive. First of all, survive, and then prosper. So this is really the issue. Our analysis is that what you are dealing with is not just management of public affairs of these Ugandans. It's not a career, your career, my career. No, it is the future of the black people, first and foremost. Please don't talk about identity. Talk about interests of our people. Talk about interests of our people, not identity. How will these people prosper? How will they be prosperous? But also wake them up, because the people also were asleep, the population. So now, when we have woken you up a bit, you can see what's happening. There's now too much sugar. There's no market for sugar. There's so much sugar, there's no market. The milk, your cattle keepers have woken up. They are producing 2.6 billion liters. You fellows, you are drinking only 800,000. So there is a surplus of 1.8 billion liters. So you are now beginning to see the real politics of the survival of your people. Akatare, the market, where is the market? People have been telling you about tribes, about religion. So, okay, let the tribes buy the sugar now. The other day, I visited the factory in Mukono there, the one producing motorcycle tires. They are producing 10,000 pairs of tires per day. Uganda is consuming only 3,000. So there is a surplus of 7,000. So, this is what NRM told you from the beginning. He said, please, don't talk about tribes. Don't talk about religion. Talk about how to get prosperity. And prosperity means we integrate the East African market. We even create an East African Federation. Because now you can see, if you don't have one political command in East Africa, even handling something as dangerous as COVID, you can't agree. This one says there is a problem, and another says there is no problem. The people are at a very big risk. So that's why the NRM from the beginning was telling you, please, the 4 principles. Principle number 1, patriotism within Uganda. Don't talk of tribes in Uganda. Don't talk of religion in Uganda. Talk of the oneness of the Ugandans, because they need one another. They need one another. The Wanyankore produce bananas. Bananas are consumed by people in Kampala. You now discover that those Wanyankore need the people of Kampala, need the people of Uganda. Some of the bananas go even up to South Sudan. Need the people of East Africa. Why patriotism? Because you need Uganda. If you want people to be prosperous, you need Uganda, the market of Uganda. But also, even if Uganda is united, it's not enough. You need East Africa. And even when East Africa is united, it's not enough. You need Africa, you need Congo, you need the market of Ethiopia. You need, if you want your people to be prosperous. This is the message of the NRM. From 1965, it has never changed. You are saying a message which never changes. The NRM message never changes. And then we say, okay, principle number 3, socio-economic transformation. You must have a modern society. The peasants must disappear. Somebody, the dried meat on a stick, it's called omukaro in Nyankore. So somebody threw omukaro at a dog, and the dog ran away, thinking that it was a stone. But after it was meat. So this is what NRM has been throwing at people. You Ugandans, please, you wake up for your own survival. Sometimes people misunderstand, oh, this is a stone. And you find Omodinga has gone this way. Why is this one running you from Omukaro? This is it. You find Amero has run away this way. So, but it doesn't matter, because we say unite the many to defeat the few and isolate the enemy to the maximum. This is the doctrine of Mao Zedong.
In their work, because I have the blood of NRM running in my system, so is the same for each one of us. So is the same for each one of us here. We are purely NRM, and when we are here to work with you, sir, to work with you, and to continue to build this great revolution, sir. That is why we are here.
But otherwise, political divergences, the answer is political convergence. So I welcome you unity is better than disunity.